Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Eggheads DFS Daily Podcast, January 9th. I am here with Chris as well. Chris, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you today?
Good. Just another day.
Yeah, breaking down this great slate, huh?
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of this slate just because, we talked offline, but there's I don't know, about 3 or 4 obvious plays, I think, or plays that I think are going to be, we think that are going to be pretty chalky. So
Yeah.
really going to have to differentiate yourself, on the last 4 to 5 guys. But
Yep.
if news comes out, I could see it getting interesting,
Yeah,
like being an interesting slate. But right now, I just don't have a lot of interest in it. But I'm still going to play. I just probably not as much as I normally do.
kind of scale back. Yeah, we already got the Lowry news. We got carried off the court yesterday, so
Yeah, that was bad, man.
yeah,
That's too bad.
hopefully he's all right, man. I enjoy watching him play basketball, but he could be out for a little bit. Obviously, that opens up value and minutes for a couple other guys tonight.
Yeah,
Really.
guys. Yeah, guys in good spots that I have no faith in trusting at all. But yeah, we'll bring them up. We'll talk about them. We'll kind of run through, I guess. I guess the chalky guys that we're looking at probably, and then maybe some other guys we like in a couple positions. But yeah, I mean, Lillard's out and Lowry's out. So it's funny. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, this slate could have been so much uglier if we had Lowry and Lillard playing.
Oh yeah.
Like,
no, I mean, literally the 3 guys you mentioned, they're all going to be, probably 40 plus owned. So
yeah. I think the 3 are Napier, Wright, DeRozan, and then Westbrook is the 4th.
Yeah. So you're gonna eat the chalk.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier, but I've seen some models that are projecting like Wright and Van Fleet are going to be chalky.
Yeah.
So, like if that's the case, I have 6 guys brought up that are in really good spots that to me make really good sense for cash game plays, because on a slate like this, like Randall's been hitting 30 every game, Cauley Stein's been hitting 30 every game. DeRozan's in the best spot he's ever been in. I don't like the matchup, but I mean, can't argue that there's no Lowry. And then, Wright, same case. Napier has been so solid without Lillard. So, like, these 6, and then you throw in Van Fleet, like, I mean, how many lineups tonight are going to be the same? And it's it's literally going to be that 1 to 2 guys in your lineup.
Yeah. It's just going to be such a chalky slate.
Yeah, and I think you can decide what you want to do too. I think if you like your build, like without DeRozan or without Westbrook, you just better make damn sure that whoever you take 2 guys of, that those 2 guys combine to, basically exceed. Because if you don't take Westbrook, like say you don't take Westbrook and Wright or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or say you don't take Westbrook, Van Fleet, so that's like 14-8. So if you took 2 guys that were 7K, so if you took like McCollum and you took like Harrison Barnes, you better hope that those guys exceed Westbrook and Van Fleet, because if those guys are 50% owned and they match, you're dead. Like, it's not even going to
matter. Yeah. I mean, just looking at it right now, I think obviously Westbrook's probably unfadable. You got to have him. I mean, I don't even. I mean, his floor's got to be 40. So
his floor. I mean, his floor at this price. Yeah. I mean, I think the worst game he's had is 48. Yeah.
So his floor is like 33, but but I mean, that's probably a little bit lower than I would think he's going to get tonight. Obviously, his ceiling's ridiculous. I mean, there's no way. I mean, to me, this is a stars and scrubs sort of night. Try to fit, as many top guys you can in your lineup and kind of fill in the scrubs. I guess just weird because a lot of scrubs are sort of chalk, which makes
that's exactly what I was going to say. So I was going to say, yeah, it might be a stars and scrubs kind of night with the 2 stars and DeRozan and Westbrook, but the scrubs are going to be like 50, 60% owned. So, I mean, it's, it's one of those things where, I don't know if I'm going to go Wright and Van Fleet because that gives me 3 Raptors. And I don't know, after the overtime game for them in minutes, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go there. The problem is if you don't go both of them, you probably go Wright because he's probably just the better player, better scorer. But if you don't go both of them, and you look at someone like Randall, Cauley-Stein, I mean, who are you gonna? We were looking at center, and it was like, well, maybe Brooke Lopez because he's 4,600.
Yeah,
but like, there's no part of me that really wants to.
No, go
do that.
Go.
But yeah, I don't I don't necessarily like the slate because I'm always a big proponent of there's one guy that I'm going to play that I don't want to.
Yeah.
This is the slate where like there's 2 guys I'm going to play and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I think on a night like tonight, we talked about it earlier. I would rather play guys I'm more comfortable with playing that like I know their roles.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to play, Van Fleet because, someone else is out and then trying to slam in like a Cauley-Stein or something. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't necessarily it's just, man.
I think it's really shaping up to be like a 4-guard lineup. That's what it sort of seems.
Yeah.
For. I mean,
yeah.
I have not. What is Van Fleet is 3,500.
Yeah.
I mean, I think can he get 20 points tonight? I think he can. I mean, as long as he gets the minutes, I mean, I think he can. I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't hate it, but I see where you're coming from. We kind of ran into the chalk. No, we thought it was going to be chalk. Was Harrell yesterday? This is sort of the same sort of thing, except we know that Lowry's out, and we know that there's got to he plays 35 minutes a night, so we got to pick up his minutes, somewhere. And those 2 guys are, I think sort of. I mean,
yeah, and I'll say something too. You made a good point before we actually got on air and started talking about this, but you made a really good point in regards to like if we play Van Fleet, we play Wright, and we play DeRozan, right? So there are times, and I wish I would have, but the Lowry injury happened with what, like 2 minutes left in overtime or something, so we don't know really like what this is going to be like.
We don't know.
The one thing I do know is Wright, Van Fleet, and DeRozan's usage go up a ton when Lowry's not playing. But you made a really good point. Like, you play both. So say you play Wright, Lowry, DeRozan, or Wright, Van Fleet, DeRozan, right?
Yeah.
There could be times where, like, if Wright starts, which I don't know. I could see Van Fleet starting. I think he's started before.
Yeah, I could see Van Fleet starting tonight.
But either way, whoever starts, whatever happens, if this game is close and this game is playing, there's probably going to be a time where all 3 of them are on the court and DeRozan plays small forward. And
absolutely, for sure.
Too, it's like, well, if you play all 3 of them, it's actually kind of a perfect situation if you do, just because if Van Fleet and DeRozan start and Wright doesn't start, Wright's going to come off the bench, and then DeRozan always comes back and plays with the second unit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And Jordan's one of those guys, man, like he can just get his points like in bunches, and he can get them sort of out of nowhere. I mean, there's a lot of nights that I, watch sort of the Toronto games, and I see like he's got 4 points and 1 or 2 assists, and all of a sudden it's like 5 minutes later he's got 13 points.
25 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, literally can get
easy.
He literally can get them in bunches. I'm not a DeRozan fan. I don't like to play guys who just are so shot reliant.
Yeah.
For 8,300, but his usage is insane. His ownership's going to be insane. So I think you just lock him in tonight for cash. I don't think you can even, work in a different direction there.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest fading him. Yeah, I do. Point guard's interesting. I wish I could play all these guys, and I just probably won't because I only make one cash line normally, as you know. But I mean, I could make a case for I could make a case for JJ Barea, who's in a great spot against Orlando. I could make a case for DSJ, who's in the same spot against Orlando. Fox against the Lakers, if George Hill's still out.
Yeah.
Fox has been really good. I think he's put up like 30, 35 in every single game lately. Yeah. So I mean, there is some good plays here. I just don't know if I'm going to play him, just because I won't be able to. Like, it's not like I don't want to. I don't think I'll be able to. But if I was making a list, it would be Napier, Wright, Van Fleet, DSJ, Barea, Fox, probably point guards.
Well, yeah, JJ's prices went up a little bit. When do you have a down game last game? But
he's a matchup guy though. I mean, he really is. Orlando plays really fast, so he likes games like this, like Chicago, Golden State, OKC, New Orleans. The games he did well, those teams play fast. So, he's in a great spot. I just don't think he's going to make my lineup because I don't think I'm going to be able to fit him in.
All these guys are pretty much point guard only, or guard only, besides, I think, Wright. Isn't he small forward, I believe?
DeRozan is.
DeRozan, so
yeah.
Other than that, you're loading your lineup with, a bunch of point guards. So, yeah, I would say, like you said, we play a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Sort of the normal, just because you're going to be locked into 4 or 5 guys, really, with high ownership.
Yeah.
And as we just kind of George Hill just ruled out again. So, I mean, that's even more.
Did he really?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that kind of throws a wrench in the situation because
I played Fox last night.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, his price has gone up.
Did they happen to talk about Frank Mason? Is he out still?
I haven't seen anything on here. Let's see if I can.
I thought maybe he was coming back this week.
No, he's not playing today. I don't think.
Okay. DraftKings has him as questionable, and they said he'd be out a week, like last week. So I don't know if that's maybe – I don't know. But, yeah, now Fox becomes viable. So –
For sure. I guess, it's a short slate. We don't need to overthink it. I think you just lock in. You just lock in the value plays, at least right now. Leads it for it.
Yeah, let's talk about some, real quick about some guys we can fill around these obvious maybe 4 or 5 guys that we're going to be playing. I mean, I've got Willie Cauley-Stein and Randall in here right now, only because on a slate like this, these 2 guys have been like the most consistent with their price, for the last week.
Yeah, no, I got those 2 guys in my lineup, and I think that's great. Like I said, stars and scrubs. These guys aren't stars, but on a slate like this,
yeah,
they're pretty close to being stars. I mean, when it comes to guys that are playing tonight, so I think those 2 are great options in cash for tonight.
Yeah,
so I got both of those guys going tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned it before, but position scarcity is probably the hardest thing tonight.
It is because these guys are only guard eligible.
Yeah,
I will mention one guy that's in my lineup right now that I don't know if he'll be on people's radar. I don't think he's going to be. Is Garrett Temple? He's like my filler. Like you said, we're going to have to play someone you don't want to play today. And if I want Randall, I want Stein, Westbrook, and those guys. So right now, Temple is like holding down my last forward spot. So kind of scary, but
Yeah, no, I mean it's going to be one of those nights. I mean,
yeah, you're
you
gonna
know,
have to take a flyer on somebody, but
yeah,
he's been playing pretty well. So he's kind of
yeah,
out of
he starts too.
yeah.
So
So
you know,
3,800, I like him.
yeah, I mean because if you don't go Willie Cauley Stein, you don't go Randall, and you drop down to like the next tier, right? I mean, you're looking at guys like you're looking at guys like Buddy Hield. You're looking at Ellington, Lopez, Aminu. I mean, Aminu always rates well every single game. Every time I see him, the dude never hits value. Like I don't know if I can do it with this guy anymore. I just,
No,
dude.
yeah, no, um,
The only reason he rates well is because he plays 36 minutes a game. But like, there's times where he just literally doesn't do anything.
it disappears
So,
a lot too.
yeah, if I was gonna come off Willie Cauley Stein Randall, I'm probably gonna go like Biombo, maybe Ibaka, like a Wes Matthews who's forward eligible. Um, that's probably where I'm going to go if I'm dropping down. That way, my utility is, or whoever I play in this other spot is going to be like a, 5K guy instead of like a Garrett Temple or something like you mentioned. But,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you're going to have to really evaluate the way you want to go. For me right now, I don't know if I'm going to pay 6,600 for Willie Cauley Stein. I might go someone lower with like,
yeah,
I might go lower the good matchup like Biombo because that jumps me like an extra, $500 per person. So
yeah. No, no one's really on Biombo either, So
yeah, nobody likes him. I don't know why. He gets Dallas tonight. They're the worst against centers. I freaking love this guy.
yeah,
Every time I play him, it's only in like really good situations. And I think he's let me down like once. And I'm
yeah,
gonna good because I don't know what's gonna happen tonight because I'm not Miss Cleo. But I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. Like we were looking at it earlier. I mean, every time he's in a good matchup, he does well. Like
yeah.
Brooklyn, like worst against centers, 41. Dallas tonight, second worst against centers. Who knows? Cleveland, not great against centers, but better and still hit value. Like Detroit, Andre Drummond doesn't play defense. So, yeah, I mean, I like him. Some others don't, but I do.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's a good call. That's a good, kind of one-off call. But
yeah, yeah. I think you, yeah.
yeah. But I don't think
Tough.
most people go to the chalk with Toronto, and I think that's okay for cash. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like you said, if they go off or they get, what 4 to 6 times their value at that price, you'll
Yeah.
be in trouble if you don't have them. So
Yeah, I think if you somehow get through the night without an icicle out of the 3 or 4 guys you use that aren't chalky, you're gonna cash.
yeah, exactly. So
And that's why right now when we're talking, like I feel better about using guys like Randall, Cauley Stein, Biombo because I mean Biombo may be a little bit riskier because he's had some duds in some other games, but like Randall and Cauley Stein for like the last week haven't been below like 4 times value.
no,
So
no, it's I think those two are sort of no-brainers tonight. So
yeah,
I've got those guys.
yeah.
I mean, he went up against Cleveland, and yeah, he's done it the last 2 nights. Gambo has,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I mean, not really done it though, dude. I mean, he was projected for 26. He fell below value by point like 3 or something like that, and then he played against Houston. He only saw 17 minutes, so that's a little different. If you take the 17 minutes game out of the equation for Biombo and you go off the last 5 or 6 games, he's exceeded value. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what happened in that game. I don't know if he got in foul trouble or they got blown out or what it was. But.
well, the final score was 116-98. So I maybe want to think it's sort of they got blown out maybe, and they sort of made it close at the end. But so you take that away, he's literally exceeded value 5 out of his last 6 times. So
yeah.
The more we talk about it, I'm probably gonna end up like leaning him as my power forward tonight. So
You're warming up to Biombo?
Yeah, man, dude, it makes sense. I mean, going him, I actually can still get in Randall and Cauley Stein and Rosen. So with the chalk,
Yeah.
so um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sort of warming up to
The
yeah,
Bismack Biombo. Yeah,
yeah, man.
man.
Oh, dude, it's starting to make sense. I mean, if you look at his numbers, that's why I think when you look at these guys' numbers, if you just look on your phone and you're looking at DraftKings, you're gonna get like, oh yeah, this guy has done this. That. But if you break it down like by his last 5 or 6 games, look at
Yeah.
what he's done over a span. Look at how the game flow has gone. You know, if they're getting blown out, dude's not going to play. So,
Yeah, and so tonight, I'm glad you mentioned that because tonight's a 4-gamer,
yeah,
and there are a couple games on this slate that I don't really like to play guys in. The only reason I'm doing it is because they're like value plays, but um, like I could see OKC absolutely destroying Portland, and I could see Toronto just coming out tired and not playing well, but I could also see Miami coming out and shooting like 20%, or that game being like 88-85 and
yeah,
just being a dud. And then I could see the Magic Dallas game being, 115-110, and you know,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
He does he. So here's the thing: like I like him because he does well in good matchups. Like
yeah,
I said it before, but
yeah,
I played him. I played him like 5 or 6 times over the last, month and a half or something like that, maybe month. And I've only played him in really good matchups, and he's done well. So,
yeah.
and
But
he's
if
never
that dude,
high. He's never high
yeah,
owned.
no, if he gets the minutes, he's gonna hit value. Like there's just no. Just looking at his history over the season, obviously with Vooch going down, if he gets the minutes, 25 or more, he's going to hit value. So
Yeah, yeah,
Frank Mason is not playing
yeah.
tonight.
Well, the damn it. The matchup is with Dallas. So
Yeah,
they play that Kleber kid or Kleebler, and then they play
yeah,
Dirk, and then they play Mesri, and then they play Powell some. Like outside of Biombo, who do they even play? Like Spates?
yeah, but not that much, right? I mean,
Yeah, like who plays center minutes for
yeah,
them? I honestly, I don't even know. That was actually a genuine question. I don't
no, I
know.
I think Spates does, but they may even go small, dude. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah, I mean, but
um,
sorry, I pulled a Tommy on you there. Sorry. Um,
all right, no,
yeah,
no,
they might go small, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's going to dictate who goes small and who goes big.
yeah,
Like
yeah, no,
Dallas definitely has more big men than Orlando. So
yeah,
if I'm Dallas, I would play Dirk and Powell and the other
yeah,
guys and make
no,
Orlando put a slow Biombo out there. But that's just me. But I don't know.
Carlisle is
We'll
one of the top
see.
in the world. There.
Um, are there any GPP plays you want to throw at me? I'm like the GPP king now because of my Avery Bradley call, who put up like 50 freaking points last night, by the way. But
Should have had him in cash, but didn't.
yeah, well, I also should have had Anthony Davis, who you were really high on, and I didn't. So who got hurt, but he
Yeah,
was on pace. He was on pace, I think, for like 75 DK points. So,
yeah. Oh,
man, he didn't even play the whole fourth, and I think he was at 55 before he got hurt.
yeah. I think man, tonight's a tough night for cash, but or not for cash, sorry, for GPPs, just because there's so much chalk out there. I think those guys are going to carry ownership, probably both.
Yeah,
Both just kind of save the money, but just kind of like never really Tyler talked about it. I mean, is Bismarck Biombo, man? I think he's in a great spot. As we kind of dove into this a little bit more, if you wanted to sort of pivot off of DeMar, which I don't mind, again, 8,300 for a guy who's just going to basically shoot the basketball off of a game that was in overtime last night. I like Paul George a little bit tonight. I don't mind going there
yeah,
against Portland. I don't even mind pairing him with Russ tonight. I don't think you can fade Russ tonight in either formats with this high floors, high ceiling. But kind of to piggyback off of Paul George, I mean, the dude has just been playing great basketball lately. Exceeded value 7 out of the last 8 times he fell short. And it was basically a point short. So I like Paul George a lot tonight for GPPs at 7,800. I think he's going to carry, I don't know, maybe 15% ownership tonight. It's going to be hard to get a guy real low.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Just because of the thing. But I think you can make small pivots off of guys. A guy that seems to be on a lot of people's radar today is Brook Lopez.
Yep.
But I don't think he's going to carry that much ownership. I think a lot of it's going to go to Randall more. So that might be a good pivot. I don't see myself going there. I just don't like the minutes.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
Yeah.
It's just the minutes that Lopez gets tonight. I mean, last game he went for almost 27 points, but he did it in 19 minutes.
Yep.
And you want to know?
Yeah, I want to piggyback off your PG comment.
Yeah.
These numbers are never right. I'm looking at last 5 games, but Portland's third worst against small forwards.
Yeah. So that's another obviously good reason to kind of get him in your lineup. And just for people that are going to go to Brook Lopez tonight, just remember when he exceeded value last game, he had 4 steals. That's kind of hard to predict. Yep. So when you're locking him in your lineup, you're thinking to yourself, maybe he's on the right, heading in the right direction. He may be, but still, he doesn't play over 22 minutes a night, no matter what the situation is. And 4 steals to kind of do that again is kind of highly unlikely. So,
I think he's been talked up everywhere just because he's really cheap and it's a 4-game slate. And there's Westbrook, Rosen, and all those guys.
Trying to get those guys in.
I will say with Lopez, man, I like the matchup just because the Kings play like 5 centers or 4 centers, I think.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about that matchup is all those centers are literally like power forwards. So they're all like a bunch of Julius Randles and Kyle Kuzmas, man. like Labisserie or whatever is athletic. Cauley Stein's athletic.
Yeah.
Randolph is just an old man that's just mean. And then you got Kufas, who is literally like the Brook Lopez of that whole group, and he only plays like 10 minutes a game.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Maybe they bring like when Kufas comes in, maybe they put Lopez in again for a little bit. I don't know, but I don't think I'm going there in cash. But I like it for GPP. He could hit a few threes and get a couple steals and blocks.
Sure. Yeah, I just think it's kind of unsafe for for cash. I don't mind if you fade one of the Toronto guys. I think you got to have somewhat exposure to them in GPP. Just if they go off, they're still going to carry some ownership. But man, I mean, I think you got to lock in Napier. I think you lock in Westy. Another guy we haven't talked about is Berea. His price has gone up. Actually went up $900, which is a little scary. But the one thing I noticed off of, last game he didn't exceed value. He fell short pretty well short of his value. But he only had 3 assists. He's been averaging almost like 9 assists over the last 4 games. So if he can get back up there, I love Berea tonight for GPPs. If he can get back to his, between 8 or 9 assists.
Yeah, I was even considering him for cash just because of the game.
Yeah, no, I think he's great for both. Again, it's a tough night when you're saying GPPs because everyone's going to carry ownership.
Right.
That's the thing. I mean, but I think Berea is going to come in very, very low owned compared to the other guys he's going up against. Wright and Fleet and those kind of guys, and DeRozan. He's going to come in lower than those guys. So. Yeah. If you're looking to pivot off of one of those guys, I like it. And people aren't going to pivot off and go up. People don't really like to do that. So you're going to pivot off of maybe Bright. You're going to spend more money. You're going to go up to, Berea and probably, have an edge right there.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, I actually like all those guys. I mean, the Lopez one I'll let you take because
he's just popping up everywhere that I look, everywhere that I read, but I don't know if I would touch it, man. I don't know. I mean, the minutes just aren't there. And I think, we talked about before on broken record, but basketball is all about, usage of minutes, right? I mean, if the dudes aren't playing, how's he going to get, points, I guess.
Yep. Oh, I agree. Yeah, and I'll throw out a few.
Yeah,
I don't have any. I don't have any crazy picks today, like
yeah.
yesterday.
Ra-
You know,
Ravens Felton.
I'm big. I'm big on matchups. I'm big on matchups, and I'm big on I'm big on matchups. And I'm big on like game flows.
Yeah,
So I really I don't know if he's going to be owned. He'll be owned, but I don't know how owned just because of the other players. But I really like CJ McCollum.
yeah,
Um, I, so I was looking at earlier, like OKC is like second worst against shooting guards since Roberson went down, and not to mention the fact that Lillard is out again. So
yeah, yeah.
more shots for him. Um, so I like the matchup. If they can stay close, I like the matchup, and I like his situation. And then I was so I was gonna bring this guy up, and the only reason I'm gonna bring him up is because I don't really know what their defense turns into, but like Lowry's not playing, so I kind of have some interest in Goran Dragic.
Yeah, no, I can see
Only
that.
only because like I can't imagine Fred Van Fleet or DeLon
Yeah,
Wright are really good defenders. Like
yeah.
you
Staying in
know,
front of this.
they're not Kyle Lowry, so I hate picking this game. I think if you were going to play a game and get low ownership, it's probably anybody on Miami.
Yeah,
Um,
no one's
so
gonna
I
own
like
him.
Dragic at 6,700. His price is weird, man. So like he played Utah and his price went like $1,000 up, and then now he plays Toronto and his price is back down $800. I don't think I've ever seen that. His price went from 6,600 against New York to 7,500 against Utah.
Well, do you think that they planned on Lowry being out or no?
Well, no. So that he was 7,500 against Utah. When he played
Oh,
against
okay.
Utah's price went up 1,000, which I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And then now the next game he plays Toronto tonight, and his price went down $800. So someone either fell asleep or made a mistake there. I don't know, but I like his price. It's where it should be. I don't know the defense for the point guards. I don't watch a lot of Toronto, but
yeah,
I know Van
yeah,
Fleet. I know Van Fleet at Wichita State. I watched when he was in the Final Four. We went to that game, and he was actually a pretty good defender. But college and the NBA are a little bit
yeah.
different. You can ask Chris Dunn how that is. But yeah. And then the other guy, there was one other person I wanted to bring up, and I don't think we talked about him yet. Maybe we did. Maybe he's not even eligible to be picked. Oh, did we talk about Powell?
No, not on.
We did offline, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So Dwight Powell and his $3,800 salary and his role that we have no idea what it is. Yeah. So this
yeah,
guy plays like 15 minutes and then 27 and then 28 and then 14 and then who knows what tonight. But I do like. We mentioned it before. I do like that Orlando really only has Biyombo, and then they have like Aaron Gordon and then Hazonia and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I think if you're going to play Dwight Powell in a GPP, you're going to play him tonight because they're going to need someone athletic to match up with those guys.
yeah. No, I don't hate.
Like there is no way if that game gets going and that game gets fast and Gordon's playing and Hazonia's playing and all those guys are out there, dude. There is no way Dirk Nowitzki runs up and down the court with those guys.
No,
Like, there's no way.
no. Like I said,
So
the dude has been playing good. Been on a tear, right? So his price is only going up. The only thing that scares me for cash with him, but I think he is cash viable, dude. He is.
tonight, yeah, he could be. Yeah.
Sure. The only thing that scares me a little bit is Carlisle and his decision sometimes. Like I remember, like I said to you before off the air, I played him a lot last year when Dirk was hurt, and he didn't even see the floor sometimes. I had no idea why. There's been rumors that he's not on Carlisle's good side.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's trending in the right direction. So, again, if the dude gets the minutes, man, he doesn't need that many minutes to really get to exceed value. So I think he's cash viable and, GPP viable tonight. So that's a great breakdown.
I'm going him into GPP somewhere as a one-off for like 3,800 probably because I think you're going to land. I think you're going to land on the 3,900 to 3,500 a lot tonight for like
you are, yeah. And you got to, yeah,
and mainly probably at a forward spot. So
yeah,
if you want to go Temple, you can go there. If you want to go Powell, you can go there. I don't know. Risky wise, I'm probably going to go Powell somewhere. But other than that, I don't really have any much more tonight. I mean,
I think you just play a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And, just because it's a lot of chalk out there, and no, man, I think we nailed a lot of plays, and
I will say, great night to use like an opto, or if you have time to make 20 lineups and write down people and make different combinations, tonight is a great do it, man. It's a ugly slate. It's 4 games.
Yeah, you never know who's going to go off. I mean,
yeah, I'll probably play like the mass 20 entry or whatever it is, and I'll probably run like max 80% exposure to like maybe 4 or 5 guys, and then the other, I'll basically try to get it to where I can get as exposure to as many players as possible.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean,
because I don't want to do 20 lines where like 15 of them cash and I make $6 on every one. I'd rather get the one that, I'd rather have 19 lose and one of them win $5,000,
Yeah, no, I hear you. It makes sense.
That's just me.
No.
So to close, I don't like the slate. I think it's too obvious. I think it's ugly. But you're gonna have to struggle with a couple positions, and I think it's really gonna come down to what you're gonna feel best about when you hit like submit. So
yeah. I mean,
last night I felt really good about my lineup, and one guy turned out to just completely not do anything and ruin my entire night. But I do feel better about last night that it wouldn't have really mattered, because if you hit 5x on all your guys, it wouldn't even have mattered. If you hit 6x on your guys, it probably didn't matter. So should be lower scoring night tonight. Should be, I should say.
Yeah, it'll be a lower scoring night for sure. So
if there's any other news or anything, like we always say, check Twitter, make sure you're on top of it, know who to play when someone's out. Yeah,
a lot can change. So
yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, good luck tonight.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, hopefully hopefully everything goes like it's supposed to on a 4-gamer. So,
all right, man.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Buddy.
Yep.
I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.